Harley Davidson sells more than motorcycles. It sells identity, legacy, and a promise of pride that few brands can match. I've watched riders walk into showrooms with fire in their eyes, convinced they've finally found their bike. And I've watched some of those same riders, months or years later, trade that bike back quietly, without drama, without complaints, just a look that says they learned something the hard way. Regret with Harley ownership is rarely loud. It's subtle. This video isn't about bashing Harley Davidson. Far from it. It's about honesty. If you're considering one or already own one, you need to hear this from someone who's sold them, serviced them, and taken them back. Stay till the end, because the final entries surprise even seasoned riders. Number 1. Harley Davidson Street 750. The Street 750 was meant to be Harley's bridge, lighter, more affordable, more accessible. On paper, it made sense. In reality, many owners quietly regret it. The engine produces noticeable heat, especially in traffic, and that heat becomes impossible to ignore over time. Build quality feels disconnected from what buyers expect when they hear the Harley Davidson name, and resale value often drops faster than anticipated. Suspension is basic, brakes feel underwhelming once confidence builds, and long-term reliability has been inconsistent depending on riding conditions. Many owners realize too late that they didn't buy into Harley heritage, they bought into a compromise. It's not terrible, but it doesn't age well emotionally. Riders outgrow it quickly, yet find the market reluctant when it's time to sell. And that feeling of being stuck with a bike that doesn't fully satisfy is where quiet regret begins, leading straight into a model that disappoints for very different reasons. Number 2. Harley Davidson Iron 883. The Iron 883 draws riders in with its stripped-down look and classic stance. It feels authentic at first glance, but ownership reveals limitations that don't show up on showroom floors. Power delivery feels restrained once the novelty fades, especially on highways. Long rides expose its stiff suspension and limited comfort, and vibration becomes more noticeable over time. Many owners spend heavily on exhausts, seats, suspension upgrades, and intake mods just to make the bike feel complete, often pushing total investment far beyond what they planned. And despite those upgrades, the bike still feels constrained for experienced riders. It's a motorcycle people love to look at, but not always to live with. The regret doesn't come from hatred, it comes from realizing the bike never grows with you. And when riders start looking for the next step, they often discover it should have been their first choice. Number 3. Harley Davidson 48. The 48 is visually powerful. Fat front tire, peanut tank, aggressive stance. It makes a statement before it even starts. But that same design is what quietly frustrates owners. The tiny fuel tank limits range severely, turning longer rides into constant fuel stop planning. Suspension travel is minimal, making rough roads punishing. Steering feels heavy at low speeds, and comfort takes a backseat to style. Many riders buy the 48 with their heart, only to realize later that daily usability was never part of the design brief. It excels as a short ride statement machine, not as a versatile motorcycle. Over time, owners either adapt their riding to the bike's limitations or start questioning why a premium-priced motorcycle feels so restrictive. That question lingers, and it often leads to the next, even heavier regret. Number 4. Harley Davidson Fat Bob 114. The Fat Bob 114 looks aggressive and promises muscle, and in fairness, it delivers torque. But living with it is another story. The weight becomes noticeable quickly, especially in city riding or slow maneuvering. Suspension, while improved over older Harleys, still struggles on uneven roads. Heat management can be an issue, particularly in warmer climates. Fuel economy is underwhelming, and tire replacement comes sooner than many expect due to its performance-oriented setup. Some owners realize they bought the Fat Bob for how it looks, rather than how it fits their riding habits. It's not uncomfortable enough to reject outright, it's just demanding enough to wear on you quietly. Over time, that subtle discomfort turns into hesitation every time the garage door opens, and that hesitation is often the first sign of regret. Number 5. Harley Davidson Roadster. The Roadster aimed to modernize the Sportster line with better suspension and a sportier stance. It succeeded technically, but emotionally, it confused buyers. The riding position feels aggressive, yet the engine remains characteristically relaxed. It's neither a true performance bike nor a classic cruiser. Many owners struggle to define what the Roadster is supposed to be in their garage. Long rides expose limited wind protection, and urban riding highlights its weight. The upgrades Harley added increased cost without fully transforming the experience. Owners often realize they paid more for a bike that still feels like it's caught between identities. It's not regret born from failure, it's regret born from indecision. And when a motorcycle doesn't clearly serve a purpose in a rider's life, it slowly loses its place, setting the stage for even larger touring disappointments. Number 6. Harley Davidson Street Glide. The Street Glide is a dream bike for many, iconic, commanding, unmistakably Harley. But once the honeymoon fades, reality sets in. Its sheer size and weight makes slow-speed handling intimidating for some owners. Heat management in traffic can be exhausting, and maintenance costs rise quickly with mileage. Suspension often feels underwhelming for a bike designed to eat miles, pushing owners toward expensive upgrades. Parking, maneuvering, and even short rides become chores rather than pleasures for riders who underestimated its mass. Many owners still love the bike, but quietly admit it doesn't fit their actual riding lifestyle. Regret here isn't about quality, it's about overestimating need, and that realization often comes only after the bike is fully paid for. Number 7. Harley Davidson Road King. The Road King carries heritage proudly. No fairings, classic lines, undeniable presence. But ownership reveals compromises. Wind fatigue becomes an issue on highways, especially compared to its fairing-equipped siblings. Weight remains substantial, and low-speed balance can feel demanding over long ownership. Many riders add windshields, seats, and suspension upgrades, slowly transforming the bike into something it wasn't meant to be. Fuel costs, tire wear, and service bills add up steadily. Owners rarely regret buying a Road King immediately. Regret creeps in later, when they realize how much they've spent trying to make it more comfortable. The bike commands respect, but it also commands resources, and that trade-off isn't for everyone. Number 8. Harley Davidson Pan America. The Pan America was bold, Harley stepping into adventure territory. It impressed early adopters with technology and performance, but complexity is where some owners hesitate later. Advanced electronics, adaptive ride height systems, and software-dependent components increase long-term uncertainty. Off-road use accelerates wear, and repairs often require specialized service. Some traditional Harley owners struggle with its personality shift, while adventure riders compare it to brands with longer ADV pedigrees. Regret here isn't universal, it's specific. It appears when expectations don't align with use. The Pan America is capable, but it demands trust and complexity, and not every rider is comfortable betting long-term ownership on that equation. Number 9. Harley Davidson Ultra Limited. The Ultra Limited is luxury on two wheels. Plush, powerful, and imposing. But luxury comes with weight, cost, and commitment. Handling at low speeds challenges even experienced riders. Maintenance is expensive, and repairs rarely come cheap. Long-distance comfort is excellent, but short rides feel excessive. Some owners realize they bought the bike for a version of riding they don't actually do often enough. The regret isn't about performance, it's about relevance. A motorcycle this large needs purpose. Without it, it becomes an admired object rather than a frequently ridden machine. Number 10. Harley Davidson Livewire. The Livewire is Harley's most daring move. Electric, fast, technologically advanced. Early adopters love the acceleration, but later question longevity, range anxiety, charging infrastructure, high purchase price, and uncertain resale values quietly weigh on owners. It doesn't integrate easily into traditional Harley culture, leaving some riders feeling disconnected from the brand experience they expected. Maintenance may be simpler mechanically, but battery-related concerns loom long-term. The Livewire isn't a bad motorcycle, it's a risky one, and regret here often comes from being ahead of the curve without enough clarity on where that curve leads. Harley Davidson builds motorcycles with soul, but soul alone doesn't guarantee satisfaction. If this video helped you see Harley ownership more clearly, subscribe to Rider Archive. It helps this channel continue delivering experience-driven insight instead of marketing noise. Share your story in the comments, because honest ownership experiences help future riders avoid costly mistakes. Ride what fits your life, not just your image.